Very first thing the girl did after coming back to life was dump all the flour onto the floor. She grabbed a fan and waved it until the whole room was filled with fine dust particles. Then she set a book on fire and tossed it into the dust cloud, planning to blow up the room and take the intruders down with her. In her previous life, a heavy rainstorm had caused a blackout in her house. While she was fumbling around in the dark, she heard someone outside claiming to be fixing the power lines. Trusting them, she opened the door without a second thought. The moment the door swung open, two masked strangers barged in. One clamped a hand over her mouth, and before she could react, they killed her. But instead of dying forever, she suddenly jolted awake at her desk, staring at her homework. She thought it had just been a nightmare. Right then, her grandmother came in with a glass of milk and reminded her to get her stuff ready for the college entrance exam tomorrow. But as she reached for the glass, she accidentally knocked it over. While picking up the broken shards, she cut her hand, triggering a wave of déjà vu. She realized with a chill that it hadn't been a dream at all. She really had died. She was back. Suddenly, she heard knocking outside and someone calling out about a line inspection, just like last time. Panic surged through her. She ran out, trying to stop her grandmother from opening the door, but she was too late. The two robbers burst in again, killed her grandmother, and she herself couldn't escape her grim fate. Then, in the blink of an eye, she woke up back at her desk again. This time, the memories of her two past deaths were crystal clear. She tried to tell her grandmother everything, but just then her teacher called. Before the teacher could say a word, she blurted out that two robbers were coming to her house and begged the teacher to call the police. The teacher thought she was just stressed about the upcoming exam, but hearing the urgency in her voice, he hung up and called the cops. Meanwhile, her grandmother walked in with the same glass of milk. Just like before, the girl frantically told her about the robbers, but her grandmother didn't believe her until the power suddenly went out, exactly as it had in the previous lives. Hearing the fake line check outside, her grandmother finally realized her granddaughter might be telling the truth and asked what to do. The girl said the police were on their way and pulled her grandmother under the bed to hide. When the robbers broke in, they searched every corner but found no one. Seeing the still warm glass of milk on the table, one of them realized they were hiding somewhere. They grabbed the money they came for and told the other to hurry up and leave. Thinking they were gone, the girl quietly crawled out only to be caught and killed yet again. And once more, she found herself back at the beginning. This time, she didn't waste a second. She dialed 911 herself and then helped her grandmother push the fridge in front of the door to block it. She thought she had finally done enough to survive, but the robbers smashed their way in anyway. Desperate, she dropped to her knees and begged them to spare her grandmother. Her grandmother promised to hand over all their money and pleaded for mercy for her granddaughter. Even so, once the robbers got the cash, they still murdered them both. And again, she woke up. This time, she swore to find out the truth no matter what. She calmly told her grandmother that the storm outside would probably knock out the power soon and asked her to go upstairs to borrow some candles from the neighbors. Once her grandmother was out, she poured every last bag of flour onto the floor and fanned the powder until it filled every inch of the room. To end this nightmare once and for all and uncover the truth, she was ready to trigger a dust explosion.